Hey everybody! I'm in a very yummy spot. This beautiful wooded area. Hi Mahela. Hey Andy. Hey Leslie. Look at these trees! Aren't they amazing? And the sounds. Just so yummy. Hey Julie. Nude hiking, I know, I am wearing a strapless. It's my pseudo nude look in the summer. I like my straplessness. Unencumbered by straps, let's say. So I am at, I'm in Houston. I'm at the Being You Changing the World class right now with the amazing Dr. Dane here. It's been a million years. I know, Julie, hi. And we're on the last day of class. It's been like 3 billion years, days, I don't even know. 3.5 days, but way more than that. And we are epic class, absolutely epic class. Oh my God. I mean, in this class, it's amazing because it's actually a class that doesn't have prerequisites. And yet it is like, I mean, where we're going is just absolutely like places we've never gone before. The class for me has been a huge melt of my whole world. And we got to some stuff on the first full day of class that for me was a letting go, and I'll see if I can actually put it into some words. Really a letting go of just these like structures I had built around myself for a very long time, like I would say even beyond this lifetime, of I don't know, kind of like keeping the world out and almost sort of protecting myself from the world, and not being as vulnerable as I know that I can be and as I would like to be. And to me, vulnerability is like always an energy that I'm like always asking for more of and always choosing more of. It's one of those energies that I know it just always creates greater in my life in every way, like in our lives, period. Like if you're willing to be more vulnerable with you and with the world, you will create greater, you will be greater, you will have greater, you will show up for others greater, you will show up for yourself greater, and you will enjoy yourself more than you ever have. And hi everybody, thank you so much for being here with me. And it's been amazing because since then, like I like we got to this thing where it was like really for me, like all these ways that I had gone into all these realities of other people. And I talk about this a lot in my X-Men classes, because X-Men are, just those of us who have lots and lots of awareness of the whole world around us, and just like we can go into other people's worlds and other people's universes and literally like extract information that I know for me, one of the things that I did my whole life up until now was literally go, like use my awareness to go into people's worlds, extract so much information, and like figure out how to be in a way that actually worked for other people. And boy, is that exhausting. Boy, is that exhausting. And it was the sense of like literally like, well, I don't really know how to be in this world. I don't really know how to function in this world because I'm so different. the world never really made sense to me. And so why don't I just like, since I don't really know how, I must be kind of dumb. I must be really not bright. I must be really stupid, you know? So why don't I just go ahead and figure out from everybody else, like find out from everybody else around me how I need to show up, you know, and use other people's universes and the awareness that I have of other people's universes to try to figure out how I can show up in a way that works for everybody else. But in doing that, you know, we really lose ourselves. And, you know, this class that I'm in this weekend is being you, changing the world. You know, it's not being what other people want you to be, changing the world. You know, it's actually being you and changing the world. And so, so there's just been this sense of like, since this, like we did a lot of clearing and a lot of, just amazing stuff around it in this class. And it's been this sense of like, I don't have to actually uphold other people's realities by what I be. I don't have to uphold human reality by what I be. Like what I be is really weird. It's really different. It's really like, I've never seen it before, you know, and it's really like, and as I explore it, it's like awkward. And I'm like, I don't really know. Like I might do something that pisses somebody off, you know, I might say something that upsets somebody. I might be too much or too exuberant or too crazy or too strange or whatever. Like I might be something that doesn't work for somebody. And when we stop going into other people's worlds to figure out how to be, and we really get to just be right here with us and these energies of being, and I would say the energies of the 5 elements of intimacy and access consciousness, which are vulnerability, gratitude, honoring, allowance, and trust. It's like when I am willing to be those energies with me, then it doesn't really matter how other people are going to receive me. I mean, of course, I'm aware of other people, and yet my primary orientation is, it's like shifting for me as we speak to not be that, but to actually be about the joy of being me. And it's like, gosh, you know, I really can't take responsibility for other people's like responses to me. I can't accommodate the entire world with how I show up. And, you know, so many of us have these amazing like X-Men capacities where we can be like, this person's going to interpret this way, this way, this way, this way. And we can like scan the whole world and be like, let me adjust according to everybody else's realities and human reality, and I'll never get to be me, you know? And it's been such a gift this weekend to really let myself actually dissolve and be like, I'm really awkward. I'm really weird. I don't know how to show up. I don't know how to be right now. And that's okay, because here I am. And you know what the coolest thing about it for me has been, I'm really enjoying being me in ways that I never have before. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much freedom. There's freedom to be loud. There's freedom to be exuberant. There's freedom to love the fuck out of life and like other people and be like over the top and be quiet and be potent and be bizarre and be weird and be strange and just be like, yep, you know, like this is me, you know, and I'm seeing like so many different things in such a different light and such a different perspective, and it's been fucking phenomenal. And for me, I'm like, God, this is just the beginning, you know, this is just the beginning of something so different. And gosh, is it fun, guys? Like, I don't really care about anything else other than just having a good time, you know? And that includes other people, you know? And so many of us are taught that like the joy of your life and living is not important. It's really more about, you know, like whatever the fuck, I don't know, succeeding or, you know, being good in business or being the right person or whatever, you know, or just taking care of everybody else, you know? And it's like, God, that is exhausting, you know? What if you could just trust that you have a level of difference and a level of kindness and a level of beauty that just is? What if you could trust that you absolutely adore other people and have other people's backs and you don't need to prove it? What if you could trust that you just could have the space to be? That you could have the space to relax? What if you could actually really relax into you? Because when we do, we get to be with ourselves in a way that, I know for me, I'm like, I've been doing personal development stuff and body stuff for decades, since I was 25, basically, or even before that, actually, like 22. And I'm 49, like, that's not that time even fucking matters, but it's a long time, of like full-on exploration of me and the world and all of it. And it's like, now, for the first time in my life, I feel like, wow, I don't have to prove anything to anybody or to myself. I get to just enjoy being me. What if you could really just enjoy being you? And then from there, you create. From there, you engage. From there, you interact. From there, you do your business. From there, you show up however you show up. But what if orienting yourself toward everybody else first was not actually required anymore? What if there's a really different reality available where we just get to be? We don't have to uphold anybody's reality. We don't have to validate anybody's reality. We don't have to fit into anybody's reality, but we actually just get to be. And to me, like these woods, this amazing little spot of earth right here on the bayou in Houston, it's like, the earth shows us that. The earth shows us the potency of being. And there is this like sexualness with it all, like this sense of like nurturing, creative, beautiful, healing and caring energies, expansive energies, even orgasmic if you dare, that come with being. The time is now, guys, to be in a way that we probably haven't even had access to before. To be something so different with ease. With ease. What if relaxing into you and letting go of how you orient everybody around you and how you use your life energy to maintain this reality? What if it's done? There's a lot of crazy shit happening in the world, and now is the time for the enjoyment of you, the enjoyment of our lives, even with all the stuff in the world right now. Going into that world is never going to give you you. It's never going to give you the freedom of you. It's only going to give you more of that world. What if you could be something really different? What if you could create a completely different reality that does not need to be validated by anybody or anything? And when you give yourself the gift of you, and you give yourself the gift of these energies, the gift of the earth, the gift of nature, the gift of the natural, alive being that you be, there is so much more available. There's so much more that we can create with so much more ease. There's so much more. So yeah, some people are posting about this 30 days of sexualness down below. There's so many amazing classes coming up in my world and in other people's worlds that just expand this totally. And one of them is, I think it starts in 2 days, that I'm doing called sexualness. And to me, sexualness is about being, all of you. It's about communion with the planet. It's about like the aliveness that we be. It's about the beauty of you and your body and the earth and communion. It's about the play with the molecules and the elementals, and allowing that energy to feed your body, to feed your creations, to feed the world, whether the world is ready for you or not. It's time, guys. I can't tell you how fucking weird I've been in the past few days, and how grateful I've been for how weird I've been, and the gratitude, like the relief in my world. To be like, oh man, I got to let go of all these fucking things that weren't mine, that weren't me. Just all of these ways that I was like orienting myself to the whole entire world to try to figure out how to be. No more. No more. And when you have this space and you know, it's not ever like we even ever get it. We just get it more and more all the time. When we have these spaces with ourselves and we enjoy ourselves, we can, like, business becomes amazingly easy to create, you know? It becomes like so much easier, you know? And there's always more. But it becomes like, all of a sudden you've given yourself access to this treasure trove called you, you know? And the world is easier to navigate, and people are easier to interact with or not, but it doesn't matter. It ceases to matter. Because you have you. And that's a gift that only you can give you. And nobody can validate for you. And only you can choose. And as you do, more and more and more, the world is yours. The world is yours. And the planet gets to contribute in the most amazing ways. So I invite you to just play with this. Just play with this. And if you want to come and play for the 30 days of sexualness, awesome. There's also an X-Men class coming up in August that really, where we will really dive into this. There's Business Done Different coming up in a couple of weeks. There's so many amazing classes happening right now. Dane here, who's doing a Being You class, is doing an ESB and an SOP in the next few weeks. There's so many possibilities to play. I'm doing a book club on the Lady book, which Gary Douglas wrote. It's like, it's time for us to enjoy us, to enjoy our lives, to get out of everybody else's universes and just enjoy. Would you be willing to just enjoy? Even when the world tells you now is not the time for that, you know what? Now is the time more than ever for that. More than ever. More than ever. To enjoy. And the relief and the awkwardness of it all is like, well, let me just say the awkwardness is kind of refreshing for me. And it actually is a relief to be like, oh man, I really don't know how to function. And that's not a problem. It's fine. I never knew anyway. I just pretended like I did. And I can just laugh at myself. We can laugh at ourselves and let it all go. And take up the real joy of living and the ease that we can have. So thank you guys so much for being here and contributing to this beautiful space. If you want any of the links for any of the stuff I mentioned, you can go to accessconsciousness.com or my website, heathernichols.com. If you go to heathernichols.com/classes, everything's listed there. The sexualness class starts in 2 days. The lady class starts in 2 days. And we have some business stuff, Business Done Different, and a one-off call next week, and then X-Men in August. Now's the time, guys. Truly now is the time.